To be honest, I'm sick of everyone painting me as the villain, even though I never imagined that I'd be sitting here telling this story. I'm Carmen, I'm 28, and I'll tell you exactly how my ideal marriage fell apart and why it wasn't entirely my fault. It all began 5 years ago when my ex-boyfriend Ryan totally caught me off guard by leaving with my best friend Olivia. We had been dating since our sophomore year of college, and I knew he was going to pop the question. We had the whole picture-perfect life planned out, including the house, the suburbs, and the designer kitchen. When I finally arrived at his apartment, Olivia was the one who opened the door, wearing his sweatshirt. My best friend, the girl who had been my maid of honor at my Pinterest board wedding, gave me this pathetic look as if she were the victim in all of this, and all she said was Carmen. Before I tell you what occurred next, make sure you subscribe if you enjoy stories with drama, treachery, and unexpected turns. I didn't intend for it to happen this way, and that's when something inside of me cracked. Every day, we share real life scenarios with you that will cause you to reconsider everything. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next one. Now, back to my terrible life choices. For months, I was trapped in this rage-fueled spiral, and I wanted Ryan to regret ever choosing her. I wanted Olivia to suffer, and that's when I met Matt. Matt was safe, kind, and trustworthy, and he wasn't. Like Ryan, he was the kind of guy who kept doors open, remembered my coffee order, actually listened when I spoke, and most importantly, he was interested in me. I won't lie. I knew what I was doing when I said yes to that first date. I didn't love Matt, but I wanted to, and I wanted Ryan to see me happy, glowing, and thriving without him. We moved too quickly. Within 6 months, we were engaged, and by our first anniversary, we were married. On the surface, it seemed like I had moved on completely, but I knew deep down that I had fabricated the whole marriage. Then, last weekend, we were having dinner together, just the two of us, and Matt was talking about how excited he was for our future. He had no idea what was about to happen, so he reached for my hand and said, "You're the best thing that's ever happened to me." Carmen and I laughed so hard that I'm not sure what the devil was possessed by me. Matt's face fell, but I couldn't stop myself from saying it before I could even think of anything funny because I only married you to get even with Ryan. The moment I said it, I realized I had ruined everything. Matt didn't yell or flip the table. Instead, he just stared at me as if I were a complete stranger. Then, without saying anything, he got up, threw some money on the table, and left. I sat there, frozen, feeling like my ribs would crack from the sound of the restaurant and the clinking of silverware. I could only hear my own words playing back in my mind like a horror film as the hum of discussion receded. I scrambled after him, but he was already gone by the time I got home. His things were gone. His closet was empty, his toothbrush, his shoes by the door, all gone. It was like he had never lived there at all. I called him straight to voicemail. I texted. Nothing. The silence was suffocating. I had never seen Matt this angry. I told myself he just needed space, that he'd cool down and we'd talk it out. But then the next morning, I got a text from our landlord. Matt had taken his name off the lease. That's when I knew he was gone for good, and honestly, I don't even blame him. I built our marriage on revenge, and the worst part, I didn't even realize how much I loved him until he left. It's been a week. I still haven't heard from him. Every time I walk into our apartment, it feels empty, cold, like a reminder of how badly I messed up on Tuesday. I checked his Instagram. He had already unfollowed me, but I noticed something that made my stomach drop. He was smiling. He had gone out with his friends, something he never really did when we were together there. He was laughing, holding a drink, looking more at ease than I had ever seen him, and then I saw it, a comment from a girl I didn't recognize. "Glad to see you, finally happy at Tay," and he liked it. My hands trembled as I read it over and over again. It was like watching my entire world fall apart in real time. I had convinced myself that Matt would return and that I could fix this. But by Friday, I broke. I called his best friend Daniel, and he said, "Carmen, you need to move on." Daniel's voice clipped. "You don't get it. Do you what you were his world, Carmen. I wanted to scream and tell him that I didn't mean it that way, but before I could, Daniel said something that broke my heart. The worst part was that he would have fought for you. He would have stayed no matter what. But you made sure he knew he wasn't enough for you. And now, he believes it. With that, he hung up, and I dropped the phone onto my bed, staring at the ceiling. If you made it this far, don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories because sometimes the worst heartbreak is the one you didn't see coming. Matt wasn't returning, and I had no one to blame but myself. I had spent years trying to show Ryan that I had moved on, but in the end, the only person I had heard hurt was the one who truly loved me, and now he was learning how to love someone else. Some mistakes can't be fixed, and maybe this is the one I'll regret forever.